Everyone should be in. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Crypto's Community Talk, where we talk about all things CryptoZoo. We will open up to the community later and ask as many questions or topics that you want to speak about. But for now, we'll just hit on a few topics. First, eggs and zoo. How much you guys holding? Hundreds? Are you holding the floor?
Well, maybe we should pop a quick intro so everyone.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, well, I'm DaDexo. Yeah, I've been making some videos for fun in the space. I actually first saw WallStStonks TikTok on Logan's story. That's how I saw about the project for the first time, and then watched some of his videos, and I was like, damn, this guy's sick. So then started having fun with some videos and been getting super into it. And yeah, since then invested in the project, and now I'm slightly addicted, checking the Discord every 5 minutes, and it's been a lot of fun so far.
That's awesome. I love to hear that, and I feel like that's a great segue into my intro. So a lot of you guys might know me as either Young Buffett or WallStStonks or Wall Street. I go by a lot of different names, but I started making videos on TikTok because I saw a lot of toxic content on there, some bad stock advice and crypto advice, and I wanted to clean up the space a little bit, so I started making videos. Then started making YouTube videos. I saw Logan Paul's podcast on CryptoZoo's NFT project, and I'm like, this seems cool. Started to dive into there, fell in love with the community, and now making almost daily videos, or at least weekly videos, to talk about my journey, documenting my journey every step of the way.
Yeah, seems good. I'll just jump in, I guess. My name is Xoro. I'm from Australia. I've been in crypto since, I guess, 2017, on the first sort of like boom, I guess, for the last couple of years. With Zoo, I've really got about like 10 mil with Zoo and about 6 eggs. I jumped into the project when it was actually pretty early. So like when I jumped into Telegram, it was like less than 500 people. So I've just been sort of like watching it, and then like one day as well, I just started to do a video on it, and I know Stonks was already doing it as well. So I was like, why not me? And then it just I saw GBK, Stonks, and DaDexo just ordering videos, and it just sort of motivated me to do more videos. So yeah, now I'm here.
Last but not least, Zookeeper GBK here. If you've all seen my first video, what happened was I managed to secure 12 eggs on the Binance chain. You know, I got extremely excited about it, had to make a video. And since then, I've just been totally addicted to CryptoZoo, and I've been dropping daily videos.
Sounds good. We're all very avid of CryptoZoo and the project. I think we're all very, very bullish. Yeah, what's some of your thoughts on the project overall, guys?
Well, sorry, I get a bit of feedback, I think. Host? Crypto Bull? Could you mute your mic? I think it's a bit of feedback.
Okay.
Cool, thanks. Thoughts on the project so far? I guess maybe this is a common feeling. I've been following NFTs for maybe a couple of months, and there's a lot of art, a lot of avatar projects. But what I love about CryptoZoo is taking the utility kind of a step further, and merging it with the gaming space, which is what made it really interesting for me, because we're all aware that Logan Paul's very involved in the project, and the crypto/influencer relationship has been a bit dodgy in the past. But once I found out about it and gave it a proper look, the merits of the project alone, that's really what attracted me. The hatching, the breeding, the game mechanics, this entire infrastructure. And what I absolutely love about the project, I've been a big Logan Paul fan for a while. I've seen him go through his Pokemon madness phase. I've seen him go through his NFT madness phase, and Pokemon's one of the most successful brands in recent history. And you can see the influence here on the game. So I really, really love the concept. and furthermore, I really love how they're really targeting this towards new audiences, people that haven't necessarily been invested in or have known about NFTs in the first place. And I believe that's why they've mentioned that's why that they chose, you know, animals and went for a realistic approach with the goddamn stock photos that everybody has lots of opinions about. But I believe that the specific purpose for that was to target a new audience that wasn't native to NFTs and crypto. So there's a lot of, I think there's a lot here, and I think there's a lot of innovation here, and personally find it really exciting.
Love it.
I agree with everything you said there. Yeah, Wall Street, go for it.
Yeah, definitely agree with a lot of what you said. Why did I get into this project? Because I'm bored. And I feel like a lot of other people are also bored. And what I mean bored, I'm talking about being a long-term investor ever since I was a kid. I mean, I bought stocks when I was like 15 years ago. And you just buy and hold, and you buy and hold, and then it just keeps going up over time. It goes up, it goes down. But in crypto, same thing. I bought Bitcoin when it was around 300. I bought Ethereum when it was around 8. And you just buy and hold, and you buy and hold, and it's boring. It's really boring. And then I tried trading, and then trading just, I'm not good at it, or it's just not profitable. And I was just looking for something new. And I know there are other crypto games out there, and I know there's other utility for crypto. But when I saw this, it gave me flashback and nostalgia of when I was a kid playing Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, it just made sense for me to get into a space like this. And I'm excited to see how everything starts to develop, and hopefully profitably.
Yeah, and for myself, I'm a gamer at heart. Like, I probably have spent more time gaming than I have sleeping throughout my life. And I'm also a big time investor. I love to invest. So CryptoZoo combines the both of that and makes me super, super pumped. I also think the way it's been designed, if you every little thing about it, about the one-of-one NFTs for the first person who creates a certain hybrid, the fact that there's a limited amount of eggs, and as they hatch, the supply will reduce, and many other factors such as the burn rate on the Zoo token, all will combine to mean that the upside here is massive, especially for the people who have entered early. And so, you know, if I'm totally honest, the first day I managed to secure those eggs, for 3 days straight, I only got about an hour or two sleep. I was that pumped about it. It was almost like, you know, I'd taken some sort of drug that sent me to like a new high or something. And so, yeah, that's why I'm super interested about this whole space.
Mate, I had the exact same thing. The minute I calculated the, you know, potential profitability of yield from the breeding pair in the white paper, my mind was slightly fucking blown.
Yeah, I know when during the egg drop, I don't remember. I think I don't remember like my sleep schedule at all. I was like awake for 48 hours, and then since like it took me at least 2-3 days to actually recover and actually get back on schedule. And I knew a few people because I'm from Australia, so there's a few of us here that actually have to sort of stay up to like 3 or 4 or 5 a.m. just to be able to actually, I guess, get those eggs or get those like whatever releases that come out. And so I think I know there's one guy called Ruddy as well, and me and him were just up from, I guess, 6 a.m. one day, and then we 48 hours just because it kept getting delayed. And because it kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed, we were just like literally out of it by the end of it, spending about $1,000 of pretty much Ethereum just trying to get an egg on the OpenSea.
Getting those damn eggs.
Mate,
hours of lost sleep to get eggs.
I actually got physically sick from that launch because I'm
No way.
Yeah, I'm in European time. I was staying up. I was going to sleep at 6 or 7 a.m. and I was surviving on takeout and Pepsi. And hey, that is that is not health. And yeah, it was a bit of a rocky launch. I think we can all, you know, put our hands up and admit that. But to be honest, if this was a perfectly beautiful launch, I think there would be much less of a, you know, a buy-in opportunity that there is right now for anybody who's new to this. So yeah, all in all, I think it was worth it.
I think they didn't expect this much like I guess hype without any marketing, because like literally I guess at launch it was about 15,000 people that were just ready to buy egg, and they just didn't
I mean, it was
expect
literally mentioned once on the podcast, right?
It was
Like
Wall Street's
once on the
goddamn
podcast.
TikTok.
And it was Wall Street's TikTok, and then Logan Paul put on his Instagram story. So that,
Yeah.
it got a bit of traction.
Yeah, sorry about that. That actually leads to one of my next points. Everyone says that they had sleepless nights. I slept like a baby. I'm over here, California time. It fit perfectly with my schedule. But what really makes me excited is how international this thing is. What are your guys' thoughts on how did it get so international? Why are there so many Australians? How did this get so international? What do you guys think?
Well, Logan Paul's audiences are mostly, I guess, America, Australia, and the UK. And so you literally got like one corner of each of the, like, I guess across the world. And people just jump on it, especially because just like the only reason that I jumped into it was because Logan in his podcast with George and Mike mentioned it literally for like 30 seconds. And I literally paused my podcast and went and bought it. And it just happened to be released. I think some people weren't able to get it the first day. But the next day, when I actually started watching the podcast, I was able to jump in.
I mean, this whole space is online. Oh yeah, go for it, Dex.
Question for you guys: what was the initial reasoning behind your decision to invest in this? Did it have anything to do with the art, or was it the concept of the project?
Mate, Logan Paul. Literally, the reason I made this is because of Logan Paul.
Fair enough.
So I come from a marketing background. I talk about it a lot in my videos. A lot of what ties into a successful NFT or a crypto is the audience and your marketability. So his ability to say something once, or his ability to post something on his Instagram and drive traffic through a call to action to get people to do something is remarkable. Yeah. And I have analytics to even look at it. I posted that TikTok that everybody talks about, and it got around 500,000 views. But then once he posted it on his Instagram, it jumped over to about 1.2 million in about less than 12 hours or so. So
that's crazy.
And that's just people who saw the Instagram and then left Instagram and then opened up TikTok and then searched my name and then found the video. So imagine how many people actually saw just the story and said, "Oh, that's interesting." So marketing is a huge factor to the success of an NFT or a cryptocurrency project. And I just saw the value there, but it even goes beyond just the Logan Paul name. I mean, there's a whole development team, there's a whole artwork, and there's a whole system and ecosystem. And I think it's just something really interesting. And I'm excited to see how everything gets released and processed.
Yeah, man. And I check out every project that an influencer that I follow or know well, and kind of have this viewer content creator trust with, so to speak. But what I noticed with Logan when he spoke about it, you could sense the passion, you could sense the belief in the project. It wasn't some like fucking tweet or post that somebody gets paid 20 Ethereum just to put out one tweet just to give it eyes. You can tell he's been behind this, and sure, you can argue that maybe they try to get that tone across on purpose, but I think that's just getting a little too big brain. I really think this guy's passionate about what he's made, and he's had a lot of input in it, and that was kind of the first hook for me. And then the second was the utility and just the scope of the project itself. It just wasn't just art or an avatar project. It's a goddamn game. So yeah, that's what piqued my interest.
Perfect. Just to butt in there, speaking of like marketing and influencers who are actually part of the community, we have a Crypto King here, a special guest, a big part of the community and a big follower of CryptoZoo, who's just as passionate as Logan Paul himself. Let me just add him now. Okay, Jake, you should be able to speak.
How you guys doing? So I'm in Amsterdam right now, so I don't have that much time to talk, but I just wanted to share that I am beyond passionate about this project. Obviously, this project did what a lot of projects are starting to do now, but months in advance. It takes an incredible amount of time to build out a full game and the full ecosystem, And CryptoZoo has been spending months and months and months building it out so they have an NFT game ready to go with a yielding platform. So we're seeing right now all these NFT basically launches, these 1 of 10,000s come out where they're substantiating them with a yield. Well, that's a new concept. Well, this isn't a new concept to CryptoZoo. They've spent almost 6+ months working on it.
Building it, yeah.
Beyond the yield, beyond the advertising from gentlemen like Logan Paul, I mean, you don't have a bigger advertiser in the entire space. I mean, it's a perfect project as far as you've got eggs, you've got breedability, you've got yield, and you've got advertising. So from a marketing perspective, I love it. From a crypto perspective, I love it. There are a few things I don't like about it, and literally all of those, it's the crypto issues. Just like everything. You guys notice there were issues with the egg drop. That is an issue, but once again, that's why prices are in line to be purchased right now. So I didn't get any eggs on the egg drop, sadly. I bought them all off OpenSea secondary. But the project is incredible, and I couldn't be more excited to watch it unroll.
Perfect. Yeah, you've been a big part of the community. I agree with everything you said. I do feel like this is the perfect project. Like, we have a bit of everything, and I really don't think there's a much better marketer than Logan Paul. Like, he is so good at doing his job, and he is where he is because of that, right? Like, he fought damn Floyd Mayweather again. Like, not to go off CryptoZoo and, like, you know, to be fanboys of Logan Paul, but like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I have a question real quick for Crypto King if you got some time. Question being, are you more interested in the token zoo itself or in the eggs and playing the game / holding the eggs?
I'm gonna guess just before he says, as a Pokemon fan himself, I think he's gonna say the game and everything involved in the whole project. But hey, let's hear what he says.
It's actually crazy. I'd say both. I think one of the most exciting parts about the project are obviously the NFT and the breedability, like CryptoKitties, being able to generate the next NFT that's yielding you actual return. But also, so that's my favorite part in relation to Pokemon, but I also love the idea of the yield, the earn. We're all in crypto to make money. No one's in crypto because we like giving it away. So the fact that we're creating NFTs that are profiting while you play a game, it kind of brings it all together for me. So that's what's most exciting for me. I like both aspects. I'm not A or B. A lot of times I'm just a trader. A lot of times I'm just an NFT collector. But because this project has so many different, it's like an onion. It's got so many different levels to it, so many layers that you can't be just A or B in my opinion.
I totally agree. I'm with Crypto King on this. I personally, and that's why I collected so many eggs, I plan to just hedge my strategy. I'll be attempting to do everything possible in the CryptoZoo space. So that's from holding eggs long term to hopefully sell them for much higher values, as well as playing the game, breeding the NFTs, trying to unlock the one of ones, and also collecting actual yield and hopefully one day harvesting that yield. So I think anyone who claims to know the actual winning strategy doesn't know what they're talking about, because it's so hard to work out. And in fact, it's probably impossible to calculate, because it all depends on what the CryptoZoo community and game develop in the future. So if they
exactly, like, there's so many possibilities, and like there's so much that we don't know as well.
Exactly. I even think the CryptoZoo developers don't know what they're exactly going to do 6 months, 1 year.
I agree, and that's the fun of it, right? Like, NFT projects, like, it's so open. Like, well, open source is the exact word to use, but it's so open. Like, they can just keep on building on it, and
endless possibility.
Another thing, I think something that not a lot of people have compared this to. Obviously, people are comparing it to Pokemon Go. I think not a lot of people are comparing this to is things like Minecraft and things like CS:GO. Well, mainly Minecraft and GTA 5. Okay, hear me out. So it's basically a game that never dies. Like, those game never dies. Why? Because you can add things to them. Like Minecraft probably being one of the most successful ones. You can mod them. You can add it, like, unlimited things to the game, because it's like
It
the
just
whole
keeps
game
evolving.
itself. Exactly. And I think
Yeah.
CryptoZoo can do exactly that, where you can have almost infinite amount of possibilities of what the game can be, whether it's like your NFT characters are driving, or you're fighting each other in a coliseum or whatever. I just feel, yeah, it's like
Well,
never ending.
it's
Like
great that
as you
they,
said, in 6 months' time, in 6 years' time, this could be completely different.
well, yeah, they've given the opportunity for other people to actually come and develop on top of that network as well, like the ecosystem. So I think that's just gonna like people can get paid to make mini games to build on top of the network, like the system itself. Then that's just gonna give more opportunities for people to play the game. There's gonna be new games coming out, and there's gonna be more opportunity for the zoo to get burnt as well, which also in turn increases the price of the tokens. If you're deciding if your whole strategy is to hold the token instead of actually be participating in the game itself, because you might not have time to actually play.
Yeah, it's like a positive feedback loop, right? It's like this whole loop of CryptoZoo, and every single thing within the circle always loops back around, and it's just this never-ending feedback loop that just. I'm so excited for this project. Like it's good. Like I'm in it for the long term, like multiple years.
Speaking of the
I'm
Yeah.
excited also about the longevity of this project because a lot of projects come out without a real expected future. What's going to happen after the first month? What's going to happen once the price or the floor hits 1 or 2 ETH? With someone like Logan and with someone like the team he's built out, there is no what's going to happen in a month. There'll be new developments, but there'll be new developments for years to come, which is so exciting about any project.
Yeah.
So many of these projects, you look at them and you're like, they could go away tomorrow if no one starts trading them. Logan's not going to attach his name to anything, and the team's not going to be built out for a project that's going to go away. So that's what's most exciting. You get to decide whether or not you're hatching the eggs or keeping them. Given how high some of the yields on the animals are, if 60-70% of people decide to hatch and the rarest animals aren't found, imagine what the leftover Gen 0 eggs are going to be worth, because there's going to be those
Dude,
rare
that's
animals in
crazy.
them somewhere. So
That would
Just
be
goes-
so
exactly. So you can hold the eggs and expect them to go up in value. You can hold the coin expecting them to implement more utility in the game. There's so many different ways to play it, or you can just play the game and have fun like a kid. So no matter which way you shake it, it's kind of cool as far as I'm concerned.
I love
Well,
that.
it's pretty
I absolutely love
interesting.
that, and it's
Pretty good that you can actually make money in different areas. Like if you have time to play the game, you can make money there. If you want to breed and just hold, you can make it there. Or if you want to actually just hold the tokens, just watch it appreciate and value, you can do it there. So there's so many different areas within this ecosystem of Zoo itself that you can make money. Like you don't have to play the game. You can literally just buy tokens and just hold it.
Yeah, I agree. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm a fellow gamer, and one thing about games in the past, especially in the last say 5 years, is it's become pay to win, and people started abusing that by sort of diluting people's spending power. So I remember in certain games, I'd buy skins to make my castle more powerful, and then I found out later on that in China they were selling them at a 10% discount, and it just wasn't fair at all. While with this game, you have that NFT, you have that ownership. They can never dilute that from you or take that away from you. And so I feel like other fellow gamers, when they come into the space, if the game is successful and people look at it also from a gaming aspect rather than just a purely investment aspect, that's when you can see crazy prices pick up. So in the short term, I think just the marketing and hype will help lift this all up. And then long-term survivability, if the game lives up to the plan and people genuinely start enjoying to collect and get all the rare hybrids, and certain hybrids have certain special characteristics that allow them and give people a special advantage in the game, that's when we can see prices go to numbers that we couldn't even imagine right now.
awesome. Some great points that have already been hit. I kind of want to move on to the things that we definitely know right now. What are your opinions on the marketplace? So obviously there's a lot of speculation for the future that all seems super exciting. Speaking short term, what's your opinions on like the marketplace and the marketplace leaks that we've seen? That like the UI looks beautiful and smooth. What's your opinions, guys? And by the way, just for the listeners, after this, we'll open up to the community just to ask some questions and then go back and forth between talking and asking questions.
in terms of the marketplace, I did notice immediately that their target market here are early adopters, and I asked Ben, well, he asked what I thought, and I said it looks brilliant, and you can clearly see it's been designed for people that haven't necessarily used things in the space, because let's be honest, it can be really complicated. You know, and when there's no hand holding and it's your first time, it's a pretty big barrier to entry. And I think one of their biggest, you know, accomplishments will be their marketplace, because it's so simple, it's so intuitive. I mean, I've only seen a short video, but you can see the UI has been designed in mind with you know, first time users, and I think that's a massively important thing for a project like this.
Yeah, I agree. And on the marketplace, I know there's a lot of speculation. People saying, look, the supply of the eggs are going to double. There's a lot of early buyers who really want to offload their eggs and sell. And some people are waiting to, you know, buy that dip. It might happen. I'll definitely be a buyer if it does happen. But all I will say is it's too hard to predict. The one reason we saw OpenSea prices drop so much is because it got picked up by so many bots who don't, some of these bots probably don't even know what CryptoZoo is, and they're just trying to sell and do a quick flip that and move on to their next NFT flip that they can try and scalp profits of. So what actually is going to happen in the marketplace is too hard to determine. I honestly think it will be something in line within the OpenSea prices, because most of the people who own the eggs on the Binance chain, I think, are genuine investors rather than someone who just ran a bot script. But I'm excited to find out what happens. The speculation is it will be this Friday. Obviously, that hasn't been confirmed. There'll be a blog post released beforehand, so we'll all be aware and ready for that. But I think it's going to be this Friday. I don't know what the other YouTubers think.
Yeah, it totally could be. But in terms of the price and what's going to happen once the Binance eggs get released, it all just comes down to supply and demand. And as with everything, if the supply doubles, if the demand doesn't keep up with that, the prices could very well drop. But it does open up a whole network of people who have just been waiting for it to open. So I do suspect demand to follow the supply doubling as well. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I think the price of the OpenSea, like, will, I guess, sort of. Well, the thing is, yeah, you have to take into account. I don't think that the OpenSea eggs and the Zoo Marketplace eggs are actually going to be able to interact with each other. So what I remember and what I've got from Ben Roth is actually there's going to be two different games, one on the Ethereum mainnet and one on the actual BSC, I guess, smart chain. So I don't know if that's going to affect the price or whether like those eggs will affect each other in the long run.
Oh yeah.
Like maybe in the beginning, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's like it's going to be. I'm curious to see how that's actually going to work.
That's one thing that I have a slight concern about, because so they've confirmed that like you said, there will be two games, one on the Ethereum network and one on the Binance Smart Chain network, and they've also confirmed that all of the eggs being released in the future will be through their website and on the Binance Smart Chain network, if I'm correct. If that's the case, then anybody with an OpenSea egg on the Ethereum network has either just made a lot of money or it's going to be cut out of the game in the near future, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think the game's currently unplayable on Ethereum. I don't know how much thousands of dollars I've spent already just on OpenSea burning gas. The game will be so much more expensive to play on the Ethereum chain. I suspect anyone who gets in on the Ethereum chain will most probably do it, one, if they just got no choice, because I hear some people struggle to get BNB because it's banned in certain countries. But I do think that it may be just more investors who get in on the OpenSea. However, they will do a bridge, and I think they will have to, especially if the Ethereum game doesn't pick up and there just isn't that much demand for it. They will have to allow people to transfer those eggs into the Binance chain. And it will be relatively easy. I think all they need to do is just airdrop it in and maybe get the person to send their egg to like a wallet that burns it. But the one thing to watch out for is some people have been overpaying for low number eggs. I've seen this multiple times where OpenSea may be trading at, say, 0.3, and then you see a sale go through for like 0.6, and the egg number's like under 100. there is a sort of logic to it. Like, it's human nature to value lower numbers, earlier eggs higher. However, just remember that if there is going to be a bridge, you're not going to hold that token ID. And I've talked to Ben Roth about this. He's not fully confirmed it, but there are numbers. Say there's a number 50 egg on the Binance chain, and let's say you've got number 50 egg on the Ethereum chain, and you want to transfer that to the Binance chain, you're going to be issued a new number. I believe. I'm just speculating, but I think that's how it's going to work. So you're going to lose that 50 number. So just be careful when you're buying eggs or trying to value lower number eggs at a higher amount. Just be aware of that specific point.
Yeah, I think it depends on the intent. I think the intent of having it on the Ethereum mainnet and having an OpenSea is just to entice, I guess, NFT investors. Whereas I think being on the BSC is actually more for the game itself and just having people actually participate in the game. So I think hopefully the NFT bridge, the whole purpose of that is just to be able to sell your NFTs on OpenSea. Because as you were saying, I don't see the possibility of actually playing on the Ethereum mainnet if the fees are going to be so high. But you might be able to sell on the OpenSea platform, and that might be the intention of actually opening up to that sort of area. If you get what I'm saying.
Is that a first of its
It'll be
kind?
really interesting to actually see. Oh,
sorry. I've seen people in the chat say that an NFT bridge is a pretty ambitious, goal to set out for. Is that a first of its kind? Have you guys had any experience with this? Do you know?
I think it is, yeah. I think like doing a token itself or a coin is like, yeah, you can do a bridge. You can literally just change from BNB to Ethereum, but changing over an asset like the NFT, I think if they are able to do it, I think that's just not just going to make money for them. It's going to be $1 billion idea because you can
just to butt in, guys. I hate to say it, but I think that is a rumor. The NFT bridge. Not too long ago, I asked Ben directly. I've messaged him, and he says that that's a rumor, and that the NFT bridge has been very, very miscommunicated when actually they're trying to promote and talk about the Zoo bridge. So Zoo, the token to ETH, but a lot of people have kind of been then talking about the NFT bridge, and then people have got confused. I might be wrong, but very recently, unless it's changed, very recently I've spoken to Ben, and he has confirmed saying that the NFT bridge is not something that they're looking into and doing right now. Like, they have other things to do, and that they're not planning on building it.
Yeah, I do.
Sorry to burst the bubble.
No, I do see that being the case. If anybody's been following along from one of my earlier videos, trying to figure out how to even buy Zoo. So I have a trading group on Finery. It's like Discord, but just for investing. And we were just brainstorming on there for hours and hours trying to figure out how can I get BNB that's not locked, because I tried to buy it on Binance and then it got locked for 10 days. And then I had to try to figure out, okay, I have spare Ethereum. Can I turn the Ethereum into Binance? And then how do I turn that Binance into the smart contract? And then how can I get the smart contract over to Pancake to make it into Zoo? So it was just, that alone was really complicated. I can't even imagine what an NFT bridge would look like. So I don't have too high of hopes for something like that. That would be cool. It's probably first of its kind if that's the case, but I don't know.
So I have definitely seen them talk about it in the chats weeks ago, but they have said 100% what you mentioned, host, before, is that they are only focusing right now on the bridge on the website between Zoo and Ethereum, because it is a pain in the ass to buy Zoo right now, the amount of conversions from ETH. But they have said, they have spoke about an NFT bridge itself. Whether that takes 2 years, I don't know, but I have 100% seen those conversations from
yeah, same.
Yeah, I specifically talked to Ben about it, about the egg issue. I was telling him, will I be able to transfer my egg from Ethereum to Binance? He said yes. I'm like, but what about the numbers? Like, or will I lose my low egg number? And he didn't specifically confirm it, but he was basically saying, like, the numbers don't mean anything, was his actual answer. So in other words, he's saying yes, you're going to lose the number. But even if they, I know some people are saying it can't be done technically, and maybe my crypto understanding isn't the best, but I don't see any reason why they can't do it manually, right? If they own the ability to mint eggs and decide how eggs are minted, I feel like they have that control. I don't see why they can't. Obviously, this will be a very manual process and they might avoid it. But if worst comes to worst and people want to transfer their eggs, why can't they manually tell someone, okay, send us this egg to this wallet and then we'll send you an identical egg onto the Binance chain and just destroy that egg or keep it locked in that wallet and so on. Like, surely that sort of manual process could work.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I mean, the whole NFT blockchain goes a lot deeper into like probably what we all think, and that's probably definitely also above our pay grade. It's a good thought and a good shout, and hey, that might be a realistic, legit thing, but not something that I could comment on. I don't know enough to really make a comment on that, or whether that's easy enough for the whole CryptoZoo project to do.
You know what's not above our pay grade? YouTube. What
I
are
don't
your
get
guys'
paid.
what are your guys' plans? Why'd you guys make YouTube channels? What kind of videos are you guys going to be making? What can we expect? And so on and so forth.
Okay, let's make this our last full topic before we
Let's go one by one as well.
give some questions to the community. Okay,
Sure.
guys?
Yep, sounds good. You go first, DaDexo, then GBK, and I'll go last.
Sure. Well, I was actually a full-time streamer the past year, and that was my job, and then I started investing from that, and then I didn't have to stream to earn anymore because of mad stonks. But I got really burnt out from the whole being on camera every day, live in front of an audience. It's really heavy, but I still love creating and I still love content, and it's still a passion of mine. And yeah, when I jumped into CryptoZoo, all I saw were your videos, Stonks, and I was like, hey, I spend all my time on this. I don't have friends. Just kidding. But I spend all my time on this anyways. I have all the equipment. I know I have, I have some skills in this, and I just find it so much fun. And that's why all of my videos won't get monetized, because I swear way too much, but it's just so much fun for me. And I'm going to keep doing it as long as I keep having fun with it. And if I make millions and millions and millions, that's fucking sick, man. But I'm just going to keep having fun with it.
Yeah, well, for me, I've been making random YouTube videos for, I don't know, maybe 10 plus years. I just by nature love to teach people. I used to actually work as a teacher in a school in my past. So teaching just comes naturally for me. And YouTube is just a way I can sort of reach a greater audience. And so currently I'm planning to just drop at least one video a day. I've managed to do that for a while now. And I've managed to fluke some like live leaks. I don't know if you all saw the video of Logan Paul carrying the golden egg in Iceland. Someone came to my YouTube channel just as I was about to sleep, actually, and messaged me saying, hey, I just got a video of Logan Paul at the hotel in Iceland and he's carrying an egg. I've just posted it on my YouTube. And I go in straight away, I see the video, I'm like, oh, it's 4 a.m., but I'm definitely going to get a video up and spin this up and spread it. So yeah, it's sort of exciting. Like with CryptoZoo, things just keep popping up. Every time I think I'm done for the day, I'm going to bed, something live drops, and then I have to drop another video. So I'm loving it so far.
Yeah, so like I think the first time, like I've been on YouTube, I guess, for a long time. And I remember, like, I don't know if you guys, like, I guess the older people know about Blog TV back in the day. So I've always been on like the social media sort of websites, and like my first YouTube video would have been like 2008. And it's just been like on and off sort of like, I guess, battle of actually making content. And I'm actually from a film and TV background. So I used to work on TV sets and film sets like during like 2017 to like pretty much last year before COVID. So I've been like doing that for a bit, and like I just needed a reason to get into YouTube. And so my whole strategy, I guess, this year was to jump on sort of, I guess, the current trends. And so I know DaDexo does the same thing, but like I was making gaming content, And so I would just do whatever was popping at the time. And then this came up and I was like, you know what? This has a lot of trends. Like this is trending quite a bit. There's a lot of people on it and there's not that many content creators. And I know the first one was Stonks. And then I was like, all right. And then Dex and then me and then GBK and like all four of us have became like the main people in this space. And like we're getting views and we're getting traction and we're all just helping each other. And so I guess hoping moving forward, we can all take our audiences and just move into different areas that we want to sort of talk about. So it just doesn't have to stick around in just this one space.
That's awesome. I resonate with all of those reasons to make a YouTube that you guys all mentioned. I mean, one of my biggest reasons is I just don't want to see people get burned. And it's really easy in crypto. It's really easy in stocks. It's really easy in just finance in general to make a lot of mistakes when you're new. I call it the cost of tuition to learn how to invest. And it's just that's why I make content. I don't want people to watch any garbage videos and throw their money away on some stupid penny stock or some altcoin that just doesn't make any sense. So that's all I'm doing is creating content to educate people with a hint of entertainment.
Yeah, it's a very pure motivation.
Okay, guys. Okay. So moving on to some questions. If you guys want to request a talk, and I can accept some of you, anything CryptoZoo related, basically. So if you have any questions on, like, let's say, like future egg drops or like marketing strategies or like leaks or any questions about the marketplace, like literally anything CryptoZoo related. If you can, try and refrain from asking questions that, when is this going to be out or when's the game out? We're not official CryptoZoo team. We're just part of the community, just like you guys. So if you want anything to either ask us questions or want us to talk about, then go for it. Request now, and I'll go through and accept some of you people.
And please feel free to ask us any questions about ourselves as well. At least for me, I'm happy to talk about anything like personal. Doesn't have to specifically be CryptoZoo related.
Cool. Okay, CryptoZoo Fox, go for it.
Oh, hello everyone. So
hello, how you doing?
Hey, doing very well. Nice to hear from you. By the way, I'm from Canada, so while you were saying everyone around the world, that is true. I don't have a particular question. I'm like doing the Telegram, following Telegram daily, like a freaking Bible. But I wanted to maybe like
I think we all are.
Exactly. Get your minds running maybe on the possibility that Logan Paul may include physical rewards to some particular NFTs, maybe one-to-one merch. It's like a wildlife mission. The whole concept of CryptoZoo, save the animals in the wild. So maybe there could be some special trips with him and his team, like special animals from other influencers, artists. I've had those are the ideas that I had in mind that maybe could occur in a near future, and also possibly like a TCG game, sort of like Pokemon, where you could open boosters and have some special NFT cards that are linked directly to your NFT. So that's all I had to say. Some things that I have in my mind, and you guys are doing a great job, and I'm loving the community so far.
That's an amazing idea. And now that you bring it up, like that's one of the things I actually hadn't thought of. I thought of everything, but there's obviously plenty of great ideas that the community have in their head. I totally agree. I can't see why Logan Paul would not do that. Like that is a perfect marketing campaign, and it's a great reward for the community. He could say, for example, whoever gets these certain hybrids can join him on a safari somewhere. That would be totally amazing. And yeah, and they've already shown that they're doing that, right? With this whole riddle at the moment, we know that there was an egg hidden behind dustbins in San Francisco Zoo. I went to the V&A in London looking for an egg. So yeah, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of real world stuff. And like you say, they've already confirmed that in the white paper that any merch sales will also be paid out to the people with that hybrid. So yeah, that's another new idea that is probably going to happen and just boost my excitement even more. Thanks for sharing that idea.
Oh, you're welcome. You're very welcome.
I think t-shirts are like definitely going to happen. I think, especially for Logan Paul, who's merch central, and Maverick and his whole brand. I think again, he's the guy to go to if you're going to make a big clothing brand that's revolving around another brand such like CryptoZoo. Like he could create loads of designs, have his artists create new designs for t-shirts, jumpers, hats, whatever. And again, yeah, as you said, like the people who own the NFTs get Zoo in reward of that. I mean, the possibilities are endless. I have a bit of intel here. I don't think I've actually told any of the speakers and the guys up here, but I have it's more. I'm going to call it a theory, but I'm very very sure. I think this is the first time I said this, and I haven't even made a post about it either. The shark crossbreeded with the bear, I think, is going to be the most valuable NFT hybrid there is. I can go into it, but it's a little bit long, and yeah, it's quite a bit of intel.
Please share. We're really interested.
You can't only say that and then not share the rest.
Yeah, you can't just tease that and then just say, okay, on to the next question.
Hey guys, you want to make millions?
On to the next
Maybe
question.
I shouldn't say.
Okay, so again, it is a theory, but I'm when that marketplace drops and people are hatching eggs, best believe if people are selling sharks and bears, I'm buying them. Okay, so you guys know Eddie Ibanez, right? He's one of the founders and one of the top people in the whole of the project. I would say pretty much alongside Logan Paul, but possibly Logan Paul is probably the top guy, right? Guys, put to like hundreds in the chat if you have heard of Eddie Ibanez in the CryptoZoo ecosystem and space. Okay, yeah, a few. Okay, not too many actually. Okay, Eddie Ibanez. So he's a security guy. God, I'm gonna butcher his CV here, but he's done a lot of stuff. He has been in the crypto space around. He knows quite a lot about NFTs and crypto in general. He's a very, very, very clever person. So I had a few friends who actually went hunting for CryptoZoo, and the official Eddie Ibanez, the guy who's like pretty much running CryptoZoo with Logan Paul, he actually has and owns the IP, the intellectual property for the rights to CryptoZoo, so the actual name. So he holds that, which is quite big. Then they looked at what other patent he owns, and he owns the patent. What is it? Damn it! Something shark, which I'm assuming is what the NFT is called, and it hasn't been released yet either. However, it has been teased a very old version of the website, the CryptoZoo website. They had a big shark with CryptoZoo in the background, and I have all of this. I was going to make a big post about it, but I've kind of been hiding it. But hey, it's out now, and they have it as the background, and it's kind of very, very pixelated, and it's like yellowy, orangey because they've edited it and whatever. So the actual NFT has not been released, and Eddie Ibanez, I'm butchering his name, Eddie Ibanez has his own alcohol brand, and he's had it for years. And you can literally search him up and put in Eddie Ibanez alcohol brand, and you'll see him. He's been creating this alcohol brand, and on it, many, many, many years ago, he has that exact shark and bear. It's basically a shark with a bear face. Sorry, not a bear. I keep saying a bear. Is it a bear? I'm getting worried. I want to say the facts straight. Yeah. Okay, it is a bear. Okay, got it. And he had this many, many years ago. So nothing to do with CryptoZoo. And he has this big, big shark with a bear on it. And that's his alcohol brand. And on CryptoZoo website, it had that exact same bear, picture for picture, pixel for pixel, on the website. And it just so happens that a bear is a base animal and this exact same shark is a base animal. So I feel like as Eddie Ibanez is very, very at the top of this whole CryptoZoo ecosystem, right? I feel like if there's going to be some kind of reward for in-life sales of anything, I think that NFT is going to be a big one. Yeah, and Eddie Ibanez owns the IP and intellectual property and copyright of the shark name for the NFT, which is also his alcohol brand. So yeah, there you go. There's the tea. It's quite a
That's
lot.
huge.
Thanks for sharing that. You've, in a way, you've sort of made it more expensive for yourself now to be able to secure those.
I know. That's why I've been waiting out.
You,
But hey, for the people who are still here, there's 59 people. There was 100 at one point. Where hey, you 59 people, you're the real ones. You're the real CryptoZoo community. You're the guys who deserve to hear that. So when the marketplace releases and people are selling sharks or bears, guys, buy them up. Buy them up with me.
Talking of that, I'm gonna say that there's a good chance in that. I remember when I saw what the super rares were, and I was telling my wife, why is it a bear? Like, surely the lion, you know, the king of the jungle. But now that you've given this explanation, it makes perfect sense.
Perfect. Okay, thank you very, very much, CryptoZoo. Is it CryptoZoo that you're called?
CryptoZoo folks.
There we go. Thank you very, very much for your question. You've made me spell out some extra tea. So awesome. Okay, guys, there's no actual requested to. So if you would like to ask a question or want to add a topic for us to speak about, please request to speak, and I'll accept you.
Also, I'm going to take this minute. If you haven't already, subscribe to all of our channels and follow this CryptoZoo page as well while you're at it.
Marketing,
just spam.
When marketing, when Lambo.
yeah.
But yeah, do you guys have any like critical thoughts about the CryptoZoo so far? Like, I know I've been pretty critical of like what they've done so far and like some of the designs and whatnot. Do you guys have any thoughts on like stuff that you're not happy with, or that you would hope to change, or any things that you hope that they implement?
I'm just excited to see what happens. People are very, very fast. People are quick to make either assumptions or judgments. I'm just going to wait and see what happens and just document the journey every step of the way. Unfortunately, the crypto space is a space that moves very fast. So when people first invested in it, my DMs are filled with when Lambo. I'll send you guys a screenshot. There's hundreds of DMs asking, will this go to the moon?
Same.
And I always respond, there's no oxygen on the moon. Take a deep breath. Just relax. And
I had one guy this morning say, ask me, should I buy? And it's like,
yeah. So it's
not?
Unfortunately a space where things move fast, but this CryptoZoo game is forcing us to go slow. If you bought on the Binance network, you can't sell. So it's forcing us to go slow, to take a deep breath, to see what happens. People started to talk about CoffeeZilla's video about the Adobe stock. I made a video response. I think we all did. But I talked about the fact that I come from a marketing background. I used to make commercials. I used to make commercials for a living. And customers would pay so much money for us to find stock footage to put in their commercials. Half the stuff you guys see on TV or on social media ads are stock. And I don't think it's a problem at all. You buy the rights to the footage or the pictures, and then that's it. And then you own it, and then you can do whatever you want with it. And he has a team of artists.
Modify it, exactly.
Yeah, and you modify it, and you do whatever the hell you want, and you sell it. And if there's an audience for it, they'll buy it. And that's that.
Yeah, personally, like I've had zero problems with the NFTs. I don't have any issue with what they look like. They were advertised and marketed to us well before anyone purchased an egg, so I don't know why there would be any issues. It's not like you purchased an egg not knowing what it's going to be and then got surprised by the Photoshop. Like, it was totally obvious. Like, if anyone didn't think they were Photoshop images, then, you know, do more diligence. Like, it's pretty clear it was Photoshopped. So no issue there. It's just FUD that's been spread by, you know, CoffeeZilla or Coffee Clown, as I call him. The only thing I did have a slight issue with at the start was there was a lot of lack of information. We didn't have a white paper when the original launch was going to be, and then they pushed that back. There was so many of these instances where it wasn't totally clear what you had to do.
Yeah.
Now, I think it's because it might have been a slightly rushed launch, and maybe certain members of the team are maybe not as experienced as they should have been. Maybe it's their first project. I know the developers, though, seem to be very experienced, and what they've created seems to be very advanced in what they're trying to create. However, since then, since last week, when we had the AMA, Ben Ruff was so open, answering every question. I didn't sense any deflection. And so any fears I had about them trying to hide things or keep things quiet have all abated now, and I'm fully confident with this project.
I think that they literally were understaffed on the community side, and Ben Roth has so much stuff to do. It's impossible for him to be up in all time zones, responding to all messages. And yeah, I think the launch was shaky, if we're being critical. Maybe a bit rushed. The only criticism I would have is to just strengthen up on the community side, more mods in Discord, more people that are across multiple time zones actively talking to us, and perhaps you say that's unnecessary and we don't need hand holding, and I would agree, but until that AMA, there was a percentage of doubt in my mind about the project. I was still invested, I still believed in it, but after that AMA I had full confidence, and now I don't care that there might be no one to answer my question for a few hours. These are all things you can kind of work out in your mind, and you can start to picture a team and what would happen in a launch of this scale, and it's incredibly tough. But my only seriously critical point would be on the community communication side.
Yeah, agreed. I always say keep it small, keep it safe, and keep it fun. It doesn't matter what'll happen as long as you do those three things. And at the end of the day, we're early. And at launch, we were very, very early. So, again, we just got to sit back and see what happens.
Did I lag out? Can you guys hear me?
No, you're good.
Okay, Birkin has a question, so I'll just accept him now. Well, not
Mr. Birkin.
Hello, bro. How you doing? Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I love all your videos. I watch them as much as I can. To be fair, I think Wall Street's TikTok video made me take the step to join the CryptoZoo space at first. And then I was like one of the first to get an egg on BSC, number 6 for the win. Yay! Quick question though. The question is, has it been announced yet on if we wanted to sell or buy on the app that's being released on their website? Is it through, do we buy the eggs through Zoo or do we buy using BNB?
I think it's for Zoo. From what I can tell, like the marketplace is primarily going to be using Zoo, and I think you can convert your whatever other coins you have to Zoo through the marketplace.
But there hasn't been an official announcement or anything, has there?
So all future egg drops will be only bought with Zoo, and that'll be on the actual website. If you want to get on the eggs right now, you can't buy them on the marketplace because it hasn't launched. If you want to buy the eggs now, you can go on to OpenSea, and you can buy CryptoZoo eggs on there. But that will have to be with Ethereum.
But I mean, when the eggs are launched.
Yeah. I got your question. On the white paper, it says you can buy using all of these other tokens, right? And we assumed that during the launch on September 3rd that you could buy using Binance. I made that mistake. And I loaded up on Binance and tried to buy it, but then it said only Zoo. So you're wondering when everything gets launched, can you buy with other tokens? And I don't know, and I don't think so. And I think that they're going to have a platform where you can then transfer or bridge. Yeah.
What's that?
I think they might have a platform where you can transfer or switch.
I think you were in the middle of the question and you cut out for me. Maybe I'm lagging.
Maybe you're lagging. I did ask. I did. It did go through on my side.
I think you're lagging, Dexo. But yeah, so I think there might be a platform where you can then switch your Binance over to Zoo and then buy the egg with Zoo. But I'm not 100% sure. Again, I think we're just going to have to wait and see.
I agree with that opinion. I think it's going to be only Zoo. It's not 100%, but that's what I think is the most likely outcome of how they're going to release it, especially of how they use the game. One thing I would say is if you think about the incentive, the developers, Logan Paul, I think the Zoo token doing well is what's going to pay them off the highest reward, because that's where most of their ownership in the whole CryptoZoo space is at the moment. Obviously, they probably bought some eggs and they probably had some originally, but it's the actual Zoo token that will give them the largest reward. So
That's actually a
I
very,
think
very good point. I don't think the whole team actually wants to, you know, sell all their zoo and make loads of money from their main point. I genuinely think virality and making this game as viral and open as possible to as many people, I think that's probably the main goal. But of course, like, he's invested £1 million in over 6, 7 months, he said, which I fully believe. Making a whole NFT project and hiring over 20 developers is expensive. So of course he's going to want to make his money back, and hey, probably a lot more too. But no, yeah, I agree. Like, it's probably not his main aim, but yes, yeah, it's definitely an aim, and that's a very, very good point. Like, if you're holding Zoo and you are worried, like, don't worry. Like, the only time that he's gonna make, let's just say he's gonna make a lot of money. He's gonna make a lot of money.
I mean, my
my
question.
point is
Sorry.
that go on.
No. My question was because there's going to be a lot of paper hands selling off their eggs straight away. So I just wanted to know, could they list it using Zoo, or are they going to list it using any token they want that said it on the white paper, or if there's been an official announcement? Because I'm holding a shit ton of Zoo, so I'm definitely going to buy more eggs when people start selling them. Just because obviously people were kind of forced right now to hold them, so there wasn't any quick sales. So people are, as soon as it's released, they're going to sell them, in my view. So those of them that just want to turn a quick profit. So if it's via Zoo, then is it going to be like a set figure, like 500K, like last time, or a mil, whatever it is,
So I'm almost very, very, very sure. I'd like to hear the other guys' views as well, but I'm almost very sure it is only with Zoo.
Agreed.
You can probably go in with ETH in your wallet, swap on the actual website to Zoo, and then your second question about the how it gets bought. I believe it's bidding. Again, I'm not 100% sure. Again, we're not official CryptoZoo team, so we can obviously only go up from our opinions and our research. But I'm pretty sure it's like a bidding system. And they did say I'm not sure if it was in the AMA or the white paper, but it was one of them that the next bid has to be a minimum of 5% higher. So if someone bids, let's say, I don't know, 100,000 on an egg or an NFT or whatever, the next one has to be 105,000 or over. So yeah, that's kind of how that works, at least from my opinion. What do you guys think?
But I think there probably be a buy now option.
Yeah,
right?
it's going to be a full marketplace with buy now and bid and stuff like that, I expect. And to answer your question, it's most likely going to be with Zoo. Anything you want to do with other coins, you probably swap to Zoo. That just makes sense to me, but we don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that. And if I just end on my previous point, so with the development team and Logan Paul being, incentivized to promote Zoo, we'll see loads of incentives to help, push that price up, whether it's, burning tokens or incentivizing the use as much as possible, which is great. If you look at most successful companies and projects, they're usually owned by founders who have a high equity in whatever that company is. Tesla being an example. You always want to try and align yourself with the leaders and founders' incentives, because that's what they're going to work the hardest to promote. Now, I say that, and I'm actually personally much more into the eggs rather than Zoo, at least at the moment. Most of my money has flown into the eggs. But being an egg holder, you are basically also a Zoo holder because of the built-in yield. So wherever you are in the CryptoZoo space, you're still going to be connected to the Zoo coin.
Agreed.
Going off one of the last points, kind of rounding up, but obviously a few more topics to hit on if you want. One thing I want to speak about is the second egg drop predictions. Obviously, this is not long term, not short term. I'm thinking medium term. On the actual roadmap itself, it does say Q4. What do you think? In the AMA, Ben said could be anything. Future egg drops could be anything. He mentioned things like anime or like insects or
pretty much anything. What's some of your predictions on a second egg drop? Do you think the second one will be very similar to the first, and like so basically animals again, and then after that, with a lot of success, they start going elsewhere and doing anime or whatever, or insects, as you mentioned?
I think that's gonna happen like later on, like the design aspects. I feel like they haven't released enough animals, just base animals yet. So I'm not sure. I can't remember how many base animals are gonna be in the first egg drop that we have now.
16.
So 16. So there's so many more animals that they have to release just so we can actually breed. You know what I mean?
Those are
And
all
I feel like
hybrids. So there's only 16 actual base animals, and then all the rest are hybrids. So I'm talking
yeah, it's
about
like
the second
5, yeah.
drop, which will all be base. Like as a prediction, what do you guys think that'll be?
Could be a lion. You never know.
Well,
lions could be there. There could be
I think that it makes sense to have some kind of a continuous theme, at least for the first year or so, because they did mention that select eggs or animals will be able to breed with other gen drops.
Yes.
And I think if you're launching a project like this that you want to have a long lifespan, it doesn't make sense to go from realistic animals to anime to hand drawn illustrations to detailed. That would make things really confusing to somebody new to the space. So I really think the next drop will be within the same framework, as in photorealistic pictures of animals, but then it'll get more theme based as we go. Then throughout the example of T-Rexes, I think dinosaurs are a higher possibility. Things within the same type of art, if you call this art, at least for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I agree with that. And the fact that like the eggs are actually, they look like dinosaur eggs, like, I wouldn't be surprised if a dinosaur drop is going to be in the next one or the drop after that. In fact, who knows? They might actually, I've not heard this point mentioned. It just came to my head. Maybe there's a hidden base animal they've not told us about. Maybe there's a 17th. I don't know what everyone's opinions on that is, but maybe there's actually a dinosaur in one of these base eggs. That's just speculation, but who knows? On the actual next drop, what I'm hoping for, and this may be a controversial point, there might be a lot of people that disagree with it, but I'm hoping they increase the supply to like 20,000 or 50,000 or even 100,000 eggs, depending on what they sort of deem the demand to be. And the reason I say that is because I want this game to really expand and lower the barrier of entry. For people who only have like $50 or $70, the only way they can expose themselves at the moment to CryptoZoo is to just buy the coin, but they can't really do much on the game. Depending on obviously where the hybrid NFTs drop, they might get much cheaper, but even then, they might still be a high barrier of entry. However, if we make the next drop at like $50 a piece and have like 50,000 eggs, a lot more people could enter, and that will just help the space all around. Obviously, they would have to incentivize it accordingly, so probably the yields would have to be like 10 times or 20 times less than the base eggs. But regardless of how they do it, I definitely hope the next drop can really reduce the barriers of entry for everyone.
I have a very, very quick question here, and it's very hard question to answer, but I only want one answer, a one-word answer. Do you guys think that in exactly 1 year's time, a CryptoZoo egg unhatched will be worth more, or one of the most valuable NFTs that are there that have been released from the first egg drop will be worth more? So which one of the most valuable NFTs from the egg drop, or an unhatched egg? Obviously, it depends on how many there's left, and if there's only a few hundred unhatched eggs, and obviously there's a lot to it. But what do you guys think overall in 1 year's time?
No.
A quick.
It comes down. It comes down to supply and demand.
I think the NFTs, the most valuable NFT, will be worth more than the egg.
Yeah, yes, okay, and maybe. It really does depend on supply and demand.
I guess it's really hard to completely answer.
It comes down to supply and demand, and it also comes down to implied volatility. So, what could possibly be in the egg is also a you attach a numeric value to that statement right there. If there is something rare missing from the ecosystem, then that increases the implied volatility of what's in that egg, and it creates intrinsic value and extrinsic value. So it really depends on how many get opened and how they preserve them.
Yeah, like just what he said there, like exactly. If like a certain animal hasn't been released and that's a guaranteed super rare, like let's for example, there's a gorilla that hasn't been released yet and like hatched through the eggs, then that value of the egg is just gonna go up because there might not be any other egg drops with gorillas in them. So if like if that value is implied and like over time, as Stonks is saying, it can just increase if we need to be able to breed with other eggs.
Wait, was Stonk speaking there? Because I can't hear.
No, that's Xoro. It's Xoro.
No, I mean
speaking.
earlier, because
Before, yeah, it was Stonks, yeah.
I think
I've got another unique opinion here. I sort of don't agree with anyone again. My opinion on it is both, and I'll explain what I mean by that. So I think sometimes the eggs will be more valuable, but in other times the NFT will be, because maybe they release a new NFT and it's highly sought after, and the first person that has it is going to have an advantage in the game. You might have the strongest NFT possible in the game. And so there's going to be huge demand for it. It's going to be bidded up really high, and it will surpass any price the eggs have reached. But then, depending on how they take the game, but as they release more NFTs and maybe new hybrid combinations that can only be combined with, say, the base eggs, maybe there's a new sort of meta in the game, a new NFT that is much better. And then when that happens, the base eggs are going to be in high demand because everyone's going to try buy the base eggs so that they can get this new meta NFT. And then therefore, the eggs will surpass any of the previous NFTs until the meta NFT is found. Then that goes back up. And so it'll be a roller coaster between eggs being more valuable, meta NFT being more valuable. That's my speculation. And obviously, it depends on whether they continue to release combinations with the base eggs. And by the way, while I'm on this point, I'm going to be dropping a video soon. I've seen some other people talk about their strategies with the eggs, about the best way to do it is to mass breed your eggs. I think that's a wrong strategy from my own personal opinion. I think what you need to do is hedge. You need to breed a bit because in the short term, breeding is going to yield a lot of profit. But if you're in this game for the long term, you need to save that breeding for the future NFTs. You need to hold back a bit, keep some breeding in reserve so that you can jump on the future opportunities as they come about.
I look forward to your video.
Yeah, full analysis on that. That'd be really good. Okay, last question from John. Let me just accept you. Okay, yo, how's it going? All yours, John. Did you have a question? Or?
Oh, hey, what's up, guys?
Yo.
I was just wondering when you think Logan's gonna pump the marketing.
Beautiful question. I'm gonna let Wall Street answer that one.
No pressure. So yeah, I get asked this way too many times, but it just makes sense because it's on everyone's mind. It's like, hey, you got a king of marketing and he hasn't said anything about it. Why? And it just comes down to a simple question to a question. Why would he right now? There's nothing to advertise. So I suspect if you take a look at the roadmap, there are things coming out, there are catalysts, there are developments, there are things that need to come out first, so then you can start marketing it. And then another key marketing strategy is having things to talk about. So a beautiful marketing strategy is, hey, we just sold out 10,000 eggs, instead of saying, hey, we're selling 10,000 eggs. So it creates FOMO, it creates a marketing opportunity. So there's going to be a lot of things like that. Once their marketplace is released, let's see what the information there is like, what the statistics and data from that. And it just really just comes down to let things unfold a little bit, and then the marketing will follow, I assume.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Anything to add to that, guys, or?
I can't hear him, so I don't know what he said.
I mean,
Oh yeah, you're
like the marketing, it's definitely like he knows what he's doing, and like even Ben was saying that they have like over 100 million sort of audience potential to market to. But like my main concern is like I want it to be marketed to Asia. If like I feel like that's I'm really being like sort of advocating for like a buy, like GBK was saying, like a lower buy-in price, just so that we can market to Asia and sort of get that Axie Infinity audience into CryptoZoo. But also like I was hoping also that like they can also add the like the functionality of like scholarships. I think it's an Axie Infinity function, but essentially you just get to rent out your property to other players to play the game for you and also crew you zoo while you can go to sleep or while you do your main job, etc., etc. So if they can market to that audience specifically, or like even just getting that sort of like focus, then I feel like this game is just gonna go crazy. Even if it's just like a little bit of marketing, but like mainly focusing on like people's ability to make money in those lower socio-economic countries where they can make a living for themselves and put food on the table.
Agreed.
Yeah, totally agree with that
Perfect.
point.
I said it was last question, but we've just had one more request, so I'll. Oh, it's CryptoZoo Fox again. Okay, last question for today.
No pressure.
All yours.
Hello again. So it's not a question, it's just to actually say thank you guys. We are the ones, holding together, hodling together, even though if Logan Paul is not in the scenes and he's probably in the back end, maybe he's enjoying himself. We are the ones that can make a difference and will make a difference. It's the community. If you think of Pocket Monsters, which is Pokemon, there wasn't any Logan Paul back then. You look at Dogecoin, there wasn't Logan Paul. Yes, Elon did hype it up, but it did ramp up and come to a point where he just pushed it off the cliff. So we just have to keep being positive, and we're a great community, and we are at the start of a great journey. So I just wanted to say that, and thank you guys, and that's it.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you, man. I agree. I mean, the project for me, like the community is what makes the project. Obviously, the project can have all good fundamentals and the team behind it can be really good. But if no one really resonates with the project and what it's going to do for people and the game or whatever it is, there's no proper community behind it. It's nothing, right? So something like this, where one, he has a big reach where a community can get behind it. But like, right here, right now is the real community. This is the community before we have all of these new people who, hey, we want to welcome them. We want to join them to the NFT space, and hopefully they can learn about the space because it's crypto and NFTs definitely the future. But yeah, this is the real true community right here, and yeah, communities for me is what makes a project. So yeah, thank you, man.
Thank you very much. And hopefully we can end with some final sort of notes from each of us. So I'll go first. I'd just like to thank everyone. And we've obviously stolen the whole attention of the CryptoZoo space because I've been refreshing OpenSea since we went live, and not a single egg has been sold in that time. So we're obviously distracting everyone. Make sure you get back to buying after we drop this call. On the marketing point, I just want to say that Logan Paul knows what he's doing. He's a master marketer. We've seen him in Iceland. He's being quiet on purpose. I feel like the more quiet he is, the more good news that is, because he is building something. He wants it to be perfect. He wants the execution to be perfect. And the smartest time to market it will be just before the game launches. He does not want to spend all the ammunition now marketing the game heavily, and then people get all excited and realize all they can do is just buy the egg. They can't play the game, right? So our main base are going to be the gamers and the NFT collectors. So those need to be ready before we start promoting it and marketing it. So I estimate, and it's just my speculation, that it will probably come within a few days to weeks of when the actual game will be launched. So sometime in Q4, there's going to be a huge marketing campaign. I think you can bet your bottom dollar on that. And finally, ignore all the FUD, hold firm, and good luck to all of you.
Perfect. Zoro, do you want to go next? Any last words?
Yeah, no, just thanks guys for tuning in. Hopefully we can make these things maybe just do this sort of Twitter space thing maybe once a month or once every couple of weeks. You never know. But yeah, it was pretty cool to be a part of it. It's pretty cool to like sort of be up here with all these other guys that are making content and sort of just looking at their videos and sort of motivating me to just make better content, to focus on editing, to focus on the writing and whatnot. So yeah, I'm keen to see what we all do, and I'm keen to actually grow with you guys as well. So yeah, thanks.
Yeah, perfect. It'd be really good to do a community chat every few weeks. Yeah, it's been great, guys. Thank you so much. Wait, we have one. Oh, wait, Ben's here. Okay, let's have
a bit late.
It's a little bit late, but hey, let's see if he's got some words.
Good morning, Ben.
Yo, Ben.
Ben, when Lambo.
What's up, guys? Sorry I popped in. I was super busy today. Just we're building away and making some cool stuff happen. And
that's what we want to hear, man.
I was had some people text me. They popped in and listened to the call, and they said it was really cool and they really liked it. And I want to shout out everybody: Xoro, GBK, DaDexo, WallStStonks, the whole crew, token holder, right? You guys are awesome.
CryptoZoo.
You guys are really awesome, and I think this is what it's about. And CryptoZoo is going to be absolutely stupid. So I can't wait.
Love it.
Ben, while we have you on, do you mind answering just a couple of questions we were scheduling?
Sure.
Oh, God.
So one of the biggest sort of points that we were trying to debate was, is there going to be a plan to allow the eggs and NFTs to be transferred between Ethereum and the Binance chain? So if I buy an egg on OpenSea, at some point, will I be able to sell it in the Binance marketplace on the CryptoZoo app?
Damn.
Ooh.
That was right there. What other points was there?
Confirm right there and there.
Ben, I have a question
for
you.
Anything else left or?
What's up?
Ben, what can you tell me about that beautiful golden egg Logan's had snug under his arm?
Ah, yes.
What can I tell you?
You don't have to answer.
I can't really say much. I can't really.
All right, I have another question.
I can't really say much, but I can tell you that he had a golden egg and took it to Iceland.
Fair enough. I had to try.
Can you confirm or deny whether the marketplace is being released on the 24th?
Cannot confirm or deny.
Oh shit.
No comment. I think that's a no comment, guys. I think that's a no comment. Okay, well.
But what I will tell you is that I kind of want to toot the team's horn a little bit. I think the marketplace is going to look better than OpenSea.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's big claim. I love it.
Yeah, it's going to look absolutely epic. I've been in crypto for a long time, and I think we probably have one of the best looking UIs just out the gate, right? This is not even counting future updates and future tweaks that are going to happen. I think that right now, as it stands, we have one of the best looking UIs in all of crypto, and probably the best looking UI out the gate that's ever been created, and it's absolutely beautiful.
And the best looking community.
Oh yeah, dude. Like, I think it's absolutely like insane and awesome on how cool this community is, and like how you guys got together to talk about CryptoZoo on your own initiative. I think that speaks volumes, and I think as years pass by, people are going to look at you guys and say, "Wow, these guys are these guys are the real deal," and they represent good projects. And CryptoZoo or not, I think that this is something that all of you guys will benefit from. And my hat goes off to you guys. Seriously, you guys are doing an amazing job, and all of your guys' involvement in the community and talking to everybody and just being there for everyone is awesome. Is really awesome, and I think you guys bring a lot of positivity and energy and consistency that you can't even these are things that you can't even pay for, and I think that's the most important.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks.
I mean, if you ever,
Yeah, thanks, man.
if
Means
you
a
ever
lot.
wanted
Means
to
a
pay
lot.
for them, I mean, I wouldn't mind. I'm kidding.
Also, I think we should shout out our host as well.
Yeah, hell yeah.
CryptoZoo page, like for organizing this with us and just like getting us together and like just putting this on.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely
guys.
brilliant, dude. Hat goes off to you, man. Doing a great job, dude. Seriously, man, by updating the CryptoZoo fan page, and you tweet more than I do on the CryptoZoo page, and the reason for that is because just as we continue forward and we have more things to release and talk about, obviously socials and stuff like that will be 100x more active. One of the big reasons that they're not so on fire is because right now, quite frankly, we don't want to get front ran on anything. A lot of the stuff that we're working on is very front runnable, and once people see like for example, I know one of our devs who's, I'm not going to dox him, but he's pretty nuts. He's like well known throughout the crypto space, really well known, and two of our devs joined the project purely because of how beautiful the architecture of our bridge is, and that's what they decided to work. That's why they decided to join the project, simply by looking at the bridge.
Wow.
So, I mean, like, I personally think that this bridge is going to funnel a lot of money through ETH and BSC. That's me personally. I'm going to use it all the time. It's personally what I'm most excited about. And the cool thing is in order for you to use this bridge, you need Zoo tokens. So it's going to be cool. First, I think Zoo will be the intermediate currency. But then in the future, as we launch Zoo Swap and all these things, it's going to be, you're going to see that people are going to be transferring ETH through the Zoo ecosystem, USDT, all of these things. But these things take time to build out, and I'm most excited about Zoo Swap and the bridge personally. I think it's something very valuable that we're bringing to the crypto space. And I wouldn't be surprised if 100 freaking projects fork us in the first week with our bridge.
Awesome.
Yeah, these are exciting times, man, like in the crypto space and the NFT space and everything. Yeah, it's been awesome. It's been great. Huge thanks to WallStStonks. Big thanks to GBK Zookeeper. Big thanks to Xoro, DaDexo, Benroth, and the whole CryptoZoo team. Thanks to the whole community here listening throughout. Thank you so much, everyone. Hopefully we'll do another one soon in the next few weeks or a month. Keep updated on all socials and YouTube. Thank you very, very much. Thanks for listening. And yeah, peace, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Later,
Thanks, guys.